All right, it's 6 o'clock. I will call the meeting to order. We have our roll call. No correspondence that I'm aware of.
No.
No one here for public comment, just to observe? All right, then we move right into the minutes from January.
I will move to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Invoices for January.
We do not have invoices. They are still working with the new accounting system, and Mark assures me it should be all worked out by March. And there's been some problems, but it's okay. All the bills they're being paid. They're a little late, but they're being paid.
Yeah. So and then we've got the revenue and expense report from December.
Yes. So there's really, this is kind of the end of the year totals. So roughly right now, we have a carryover of 38,906. Majority of that is staff time. As you know, we've been out ahead of children's, we're still recruiting ahead of children's. So that's really most of the money. But there's no surprises. So we actually did pretty good, and I'm proud of staff because I told them to spend that $65,000 for materials, and they almost got to 64.
Excellent.
Right on path. Are there any questions?
I would move to approve.
Second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Director's report, staff update.
So just want to remind everyone, we're still recruiting the children's librarian position.
Turn your mic on.
Sorry about that. We are still interviewing candidates for the children's librarian position. We interviewed someone today, and please keep your fingers crossed. I think she'd be an excellent addition to the staff. Other than that, staff have been keeping busy. They're getting used to the new time card payroll system. It's just going to take a little time to people to get used to it. It's very simple versus Paylocity. Paylocity was like almost too much. This one, they just got to get used to it. And so like tomorrow's the first time that I'm approving all the time cards. But everything seems to be working okay with staff. There's been a little bugs, but Mark has been really good of trying to figure them out and getting back to me and trying to make sure that everyone gets paid. They're working on all the staff sick leave and vacation time. There were some issues. So he's going to be meeting with individuals to make sure everything is correct. So building update.
Before we move on to building updates, how was the staff training day last week?
Oh, staff training day went, I think, really well. We started really early and started covering a lot of topics. I talked about the remodeling project and the budget for this year. There was a lot of training on using Polaris, the integrated library system software, and making sure that staff are on board and are following the same processes and procedures. It's like really making sure they put locale in the right box so we get reimbursed. It's very important that that is all clear. But I think staff enjoyed it. They learned a lot. They got free pizza and donuts and Danish and all kinds of snacks. But yeah, it was really great for Dave to have all that time and have everyone together and Rosalie and review some of the issues that keep coming up. So it worked out really well.
Building update?
So currently, fire lines were just checked last week. We're good. We don't have to add anything new. We still having some issues with the security software. He's gonna the fire guy is gonna talk to them as well. There was some things he had to do that he didn't have to do in the past. So I think there's some communication that has to happen between the fire and then the general alarm company. Let's see. He's been working really well, which is great. So found out last week that the boilers are supposed to be inspected every year. I did not know that. It's never happened since I've been here. So they will be looked at, I believe, Thursday, and we get a license and all that. So we've been out of compliance. Well, I've been here 9 years, and so we'll get back on track. And
Let's hope they don't find anything.
no, they're not going to.
Okay.
Well, the boilers are new. So I
Oh,
mean,
boilers, okay.
They were put in 7 years ago, so there shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
But who knows? Next item is library usage statistics. So you have a copy of the year statistics, as well as there's a report in there with the highlights of 2024. I think we had a really great year. Our numbers are slightly down, but in terms of circulation, if you add all the electronic usage, books and all that, we're up just a tiny bit. But we're following the same trends as other libraries. I've talked to my colleagues around the state, and nothing is too out of line. Except the places with a newer library, they're always much busier for the first couple of years. But I think it's had a great year. Staff have done a terrific job of, working with the public and making sure people leave happy. And we're gearing up now for the summer reading program. And we're almost all set. The seeds are ready to go out. And more to come.
All right. New business?
So I just, you have a handout in your packet regarding the W.J. Niederkorn Library Fund with the Greater Milwaukee. So the beginning balance of the year was 99, and then at the end of 24 is now 111,000. So it had a nice growth this last year. Let's hope that will continue. And are there any questions?
So are we just, is this a point of like, do we just invest in the Greater Milwaukee Foundation? We're part of the greater fund within the GM? Like, am I not on? How about that? Are we a part of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation? We're a part of that entity then, Tom? Can you explain how that works a bit?
But it's my understanding that, yes, we are. We have a separate fund that you can choose. There's like 3 funds you can choose from to put the money in. And I just chose the one that has been the most stable. We also get access to grant opportunities with the Greater Milwaukee Foundation, which we have not applied. But yeah, they've been doing well. They have new leadership, I believe. I know they just moved into a brand new building. It's actually pretty cool. They redid an old building on Martin Luther King Drive in Milwaukee. But yeah, they're still really stable, and this is actually pretty good, the amount they made over the last year. And let's keep our fingers crossed that will continue. So just keep in mind with this money, think about maybe using it in the remodeling project, specifically for furniture, so we can update some of the looks with the new design.
Are there stipulations that we have to abide by in order to spend that money? Or are there strings or otherwise?
If I recall, no, it's pretty easy. That's what's great about it. It's there's not a lot of fees when you leave, if any. There's not all these restrictions, but I would have to double check to make sure. But I believe there's not a lot of stipulation.
And then what's the relationship between the library fund and then the Friends group? Is there a relationship, or they said no?
No, they gave us money. They helped start.
About 10,000 of our money, but our money is private donations. The fund is part of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation, has a whole bunch of funds in it, there's 20 funds, but it's a totally different.
Yeah.
And it's nice with this fund, the board is in charge.
Right. We had to get a minimum dollar amount to be able to invest in that, put money into it.
Recall, it's not designated, it is purposely not designated.
In the past, that money was just sitting in the bank, not making any money. So
Oh, yeah.
so this, at least it's making money right now. So think about, because I am looking at a furniture budget, which I can talk about in a few minutes, but unfortunately, library furniture is not colder prices. But I have been talking to a couple of vendors, and it's amazing what they can find when they need to. So review building and remodeling plans. So we met with the architects last week or the week before. Yeah, last week. And so this was a meeting where we had to cut some things. So there will hardly be any new lighting. The nice quiet room with the fireplace, that's gone. That's where the two study rooms and small conference room will be. There's significant savings with moving it there instead of in the back corner. They don't have to buy extra glass and so I would say the architect is really trying to help us to get the most bang for our buck. They have really kept us on schedule because they know that there may be changes just due to tariffs and all this stuff. So they're hopefully a lot of this stuff will go out to begin the beginning of March or middle of March.
I guess it would be a good time to hype the event that's coming up on Wednesday evening at the library, but also in terms of the plan that you'll be able to present on Wednesday night. Is it a bit firmer now that we have an idea from the architect about what can go and what is taken away?
Yes.
Like, okay, that I don't know if you want to talk about Wednesday night, perhaps.
Yes, Wednesday night we are having, I'm considering like an open house just to let people know what the plan is. It's actually kind of part of the requirements of the grant is get the public involved. And so the architect will be there to discuss the different plans. I'm going to talk about how did we get here, and then he's going to talk about what's going to happen. Keep in mind, we do have to pay for asbestos to be removed, and that's going to be a total of, with everything, about $15,000. So that was not budgeted, and I'm pretty sure we can use part of the grant to pay for that, hopefully. And that's really kind of the really only bad thing we know now is it's very small. But the kitchen's ready to be ripped out. A couple of staff members have cleaned it out. I've never seen it so clean. But you'll realize when you look at it, it's like, yeah, this needs to be replaced. So I think that's a win for the library to have that new space. And they'll have all the, like the tiles they plan on using and
Samples.
samples, so you'll be able to see that on Thursday.
With
Any questions?
yeah, with the removal of the study rooms up towards where that big quiet room was going to be, the study rooms were allocated originally in the teen space, right? Is that going to remain a teen space now? What's going to happen back there?
Actually, I think it'd be easy to keep it as a teen space. It's actually, we were going to have to move it. We were going to move it to another section of the library. I still think it's where we're going to keep it. It'll be okay.
So then, like magazines and such will stay where they are instead
Yes.
of going into what
Yes.
is now the quiet room?
Yes.
Okay. That's too bad. I really liked the way that those rooms were being built into the existing
Right.
infrastructure of the building with that roof line and the windows, and too bad. That was neat.
If we had 3 million, no problem. But they really, I mean, to me, they've done a great job of really looking at the costs, and they're trying to give us the most we can get out of the $1 million.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Sorry, so this Wednesday,
6 o'clock
at the
at the library in the community room. Please come. I know it's going to be really cold, but you know, we're brave. We can handle this cold weather. So yeah, I look forward to seeing folks there. I think people are getting excited about seeing some of these changes. I mean, just getting the new carpet is going to make a huge difference. I actually think probably the hardest thing people are going to get used to is the bathrooms downstairs will be brand new. I think they're going to be in shock when they finally go in. But also, too, just seeing all the different flooring and the look of the layout and everything. So it's going to be a win for everyone. Next item, the library infographic. So this is what we give to the mayor. It's part of the state statute. This is telling them the highlights of what happened in the last year. So once again, Rosalie has done a great job of putting it all together. But yeah, we did a lot of cool stuff last year. So, you know, we keep going. We did see an increase in new library card holders. And so that's a good thing. And we're being used. And then the last item is annual report. So for you newbies on the board, every year we are required to submit the Public Library Annual Report to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. So I get to do all this with help from the counties or the Monarch Library System. So all I need for you guys to approve it, and then I'm going to run it by the library system one more time for any other issues. And then I call up Justin and say, hey, Justin, I need your signature.
And sign it, yeah.
So we have to have it in by May 1st. I'm sorry, March 1st.
okay. Does it need to have my email address in here too, Tom? I see it, my email address is missing, but,
No, I'm glad you pointed that out.
and then it's Jonathan with an A-N as well. Yeah. So, thank you.
And do we need to note on this iteration of the report that we are expanding the board, or would that be reflected on the next?
That will be next year. So next year, we'll have to put in about the expanding of the board. We also have to put in all the grant information. So this is kind of like a year behind. And what's really great with this system is that once all this data is implemented with probably in about a month, we then can look at all the data and see how we compare with other libraries in the state. They have this new reporting, they got a grant to use this new reporting software and they have extended it. So I'm just waiting and we can do some really cool, see how we compare with other libraries. Are we keeping up in terms of budget-wise, staffing, programming? And if you don't have any questions, I just need the board to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
Have we gotten an update from the mayor's office on potential new board members?
It's on the agenda tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. We do. We have two new, I guess, board members. One of them is a resident of the Fifth Ward. I met with her a few weeks ago, and she's very passionate about city events and things that are going on. The city wants to serve. So Christina Lefevre will be joining us next month, I presume. And then the second individual, I can't recall what her name was, but yeah, we'll have a full cohort next month.
Cool. Nice.
Approving them tomorrow night at Tuesday night, Wednesday night at Common Council.
Oh, one thing. At the on the first city council meeting in April, I would like to see the library board here. We have to review the library charter with the city. The mayor wants all the department heads to come in and, give a little talk. And also it's going to be proclaimed National Library Week, which is good. And so I'll send out more information. And at the next board meeting, we'll go through, we do have a charter, and see if you want to make any changes, that will be the time to make those.
Yeah, let us know what the date is.
Yes. I want to say it's April 2nd, but it's not.
It would be April 2nd because the election's on April 1st, so the Common Council would meet on Wednesday, April 2nd.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does anybody have anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Just 3 minutes.
That's fine. No, I was for 20, you get out by 25.
Yeah.